Get strapped in. It's just about time to get the party started. And we are underway from the Superdome. They'll elect to bring it out here from the end zone. And he'll be brought down shy of the 20, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone, not a good one. Now a play fake here on first down.
Well, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. And the Vikings are going to take possession of the football.
Wow, just one snap in, partner, and the complexion of this game has already changed because for the defensive side, they just handed their offense a short field and a big early advantage. And even though it's only the first snap of the game, we're going to look back on this one and see if it has lasting effects as this game moves on.
On first down, they'll run with the Wangu. And they'll get him down right around the 16. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
That play reminded me a lot of a former teammate of mine. We used to call him the trash man. His ability to sift through traffic and make plays was uncanny.
And that's exactly what you want from your Mike linebacker. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
They'll go right back to the Wangu.
And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings.
Kene Nwangu.
A 16-yard touchdown run.
And the Vikings are on the board here first in the season opener.
Point after, right down the middle. And it's now a 7-0 game. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes.
He will return this from deep in the end zone.
Now a crease here as he's past the 30. He's at the 40, 20, 10, 5. He will take this all the way. Touchdown, Saints. That's a great response. You got the first score of the game, and you will write down yourselves and get the equalizer.
I just had a flashback there. I remember playing in a game like that in college. One of my teammates had said in the media that week, the opposite team would be lucky to cross our goal line. They crossed it in the first minute of the game. First offensive play, we scored to answer back. Something similar to what we just saw there.
Very similar to what we just saw. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away.
This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. And tackled at the 21-yard line, so a net negative there of 4 yards.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive.
Perfect start to the season on their first drive last time out, able to find the end zone. Now we'll see if they can make it 2 for 2 here in week 1.
And that's caught inside the 30.
And they're going to move it down to inside the 25. In today's NFL, we talk about quarterbacks and their speed and accuracy, but there's still something about a guy slinging one downfield.
And that's how you start a drive, because you know they had this play in their back pocket, waiting for the right time to unleash it. And boy, did they pick the right opportunity. Unleashed it big time, and that was also a big-time throw.
Well, they go play action here. Mon.
It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota.
Jalen Reagor.
A 24-yard touchdown.
And the Vikings have taken the lead.
Extra point splits the uprights, and that makes the score 14-7. Minnesota's kick team ready, and the Vikings boom it away.
And this will be returned from deep in the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive, because remember last time out, they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back. But make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
On second down, it's Reynolds.
And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6.
And when the defense wins and gives up no yardage on a running play, that's something they can build on and carry themselves forward throughout the game.
Out of the gun now on 3rd down.
They'll get this out wide to Eckler.
And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. 10 yards, good for the Saints, 1st down.
That's a play that will likely be forgotten when you talk about big moments in this game. But plays like this are critical to keep drives going. When points result, we'll call this play significant.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
Well, nearly another interception there. That would have been 2 drives in a row with a pick. He's got to start taking care of the ball way better than what we're seeing.
Interestingly, that throw was probably worse than the one he threw the interception on last drive, but fell incomplete.
The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. They'll wind up losing 10 on the sack, and it'll lead to a 3rd and long.
Now that was a passer's nightmare. The front door totally shut down by the defense, so he kept going backwards, hoping to find another avenue of escape. It didn't exist.
He's going to go for a big play downfield. And unable to connect, incomplete. Now give them credit, they took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
Blake Gillikin on to punt now on 4th down.
Return there after a punt of 47. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
Tackled by Christian Fulton.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
Oh, they're going to run a little pop pass here.
And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35.
This defense not fooled one bit on that touch pass.
And this has become one of those kind of innovative plays. You know, kind of like the shuffle pass was a few years ago. This one never got off the ground, but you understand a lot of teams are running it. These wide receivers, a lot of them, they run like running backs with the ball in their hands.
And for the Saints here on 3rd down, an extra defensive back on the field.
Off the play fake, Mon.
And he can't escape, and down he goes. It's a loss of 10 on the sack, and it leads to 4th. The Vikings send out their punter as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Fair catch called for and taken right near the 30-yard line. A 41-yard punt there with no return. And the Saints will take over with a 1st down and 10. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. And it's been a rocky start for them thus far. They had the turnover and then the punt on those first 2 drives.
So there is optimism because they've improved, right? And turnover, you just noted it.
Punt's better than the turnover.
The punt is better on the second one. Now they're hoping to turn into 1st downs and hopefully points.
The loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. It's Eckler again.
Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll set up a 3rd down.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. Back to throw. And he will be hit from behind and run over. Wow. And now that brings up 4th down there, a loss of 6 yards on the sack. Through one quarter, 14-7 our score.
14, Saints 7.
Blake Gillikin on to punt here as he'll send this one away. This is brought in at the 21. A 46-yard punt, 8 yards on the return. And it will be Vikings ball, 1st and 10.
Here we go.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the...
Got a man, it's caught inside the 10. Touchdown, Vikings.
Well, if the plan is to come in here and go toe-to-toe with these guys, it certainly does not hurt if you hit them with a big shot along the way, too.
That's got to give them some confidence. And the other thing right now, it quiets this crowd, at least for the time being.
Yeah, that is what is called the intended consequence of their actions.
Minnesota's kick team ready, and the Vikings boom it away. Well, from deep in the end zone, he's going to bring this out. And he's able to get this across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down officially at the 21. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And Charles, a very uninspired effort the last time we saw them out there was a quick 3-and-out, and they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
On 2nd down, Eckler. And he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice gain like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
Here's Blake Gillikin now.
Blake Gillikin in formation for the Saints.
He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Taken in at the 22. And that'll be a return of 12 following a very nice punt. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Well, partner, coaches always say that every play is designed to score a touchdown. Sometimes that's not really true, but last drive, that was the case. One play to get... And at the 7-yard line, the catch is made. And he will step out of bounds all the way down at the 5-yard line. A big play there for Minnesota. 61 yards.
In our pregame meeting, all they talked about was keeping him hemmed in and wanting him to make his throws from the pocket because they knew he was pretty dangerous if he got outside, and he just showed it right there. Pretty good arm, too.
Here we go.
Well, that didn't take long. One play, and we're already looking at a 1st and goal situation. Now a give running right, Nwangu. And he'll get this one back to the 5-yard line, but no further than that. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal. Another run down for Nwangu. And he will fight his way into the end zone for a touchdown. Kene Nwangu. With career touchdown number 94, he ties both Jerome Bettis and Priest Holmes on the all-time list. And the Vikings are looking good here in the season opener as they're able to extend their lead. Extra point right down the middle. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. He will return this from deep in the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. They're down 3 touchdowns to this point, needing to put something together as they have it 1st and 10. A good gain of 9 before he's brought down at the 28.
Even though they gave up more than they wanted to on that play, it actually illustrates how well they bottled them up throughout the game, because that was his longest run of this contest.
The last run got 9. That leaves him with 2nd and a yard. Up the middle with Eckler. And he'll only get a yard to bring up 3rd and 1.
Whenever we talk about the best strong safeties, one word constantly comes up, and that's instincts. Being able to diagnose run or pass and make the appropriate moves.
He crashed down hard there. He was ready for that running play. They'll hand off to Reynolds. And he's got room. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. It'll be a Saints 1st down on a gain of 16 yards. They'll try the right side with Eckler. And he is going to lose yardage here. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
I have a feeling they'll stay committed to running the football, especially on their early downs. They just haven't had a whole lot of success just yet.
Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. He rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. And the Vikings are going to take possession of the football. 2nd quarter action, 1:56 remaining. From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10. Straight ahead, here's Nwangu. And he takes it inside the 10 to the 8 before he's out of bounds. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
That's a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
On 2nd down, here's Nwangu. And they'll get this from the 8 to the 5. Pickup of 3.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the 1st here. Nwangu going to get it on the counter. And this is going to result in losing yardage. They're driven back to the 8-yard line. Not at all what they envisioned on 3rd down. 3 yards in the wrong direction. And his kick here is good. So after 4 touchdowns in the game for this offense, this time they're forced into taking the 3.
But you did mention 4 touchdowns, right? So 4 out of 5, not too bad. I think that's a pretty good record for them.
And this will be returned from deep in the end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp and at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room just a little more animated.
And for the third time here in this half, it's intercepted. And the Vikings are going to take possession of the football. An unfortunate sequence there, trying to get points before intermission, but now the interception, and their opponents have a chance to possibly pad their lead.
Yeah, they had an opportunity there, and they weren't able to capitalize on it. That's something that could come back and haunt them later. They're begging their defense now to keep them from scoring before the half ends.
From the 2 now, second and goal. They'll look to run with Nwangu. And he gets halfway there, down to the 1-yard line. And they'll burn the timeout with 5 seconds left. A chance to try to add 3 points before heading to the locker room. Now, they'd really like to make the short field pay off. We'll see if they can, but this is third and goal. Up the middle, Nwangu. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Minnesota. Kene Nwangu. His way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Vikings are able to widen their lead here in this first half. Point after, right down the middle. And the route is on here in this first half. So with 3 seconds remaining in the half, they will line up to kick this one away. Well, from deep in the end zone, he's going to bring this out. So we've reached halftime here on opening weekend. As we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman in our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gunn, getting set for quarter number 3 here. We'll see if week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Well, it's hard to imagine the first half going any better for them, CD, and now here as they begin their first series of the second half. I mean, they score here. This one, it's pretty much out of reach.
We honestly might already be at that point, partner.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by John Johnson. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. Maybe a small measure of revenge for this defense because they've been thoroughly dominated so far, but a brief bright spot there with that pick 6.
Seemingly coming up for air after being dominated, as you described. They get a nice play there. Probably not going to change the balance of this game, but they have to feel a little bit better about themselves after that one.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away. This is going to be returned from the middle of the end zone. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Now remember, they were just out here a moment ago through the pick 6, so we'll see if they can take better care of the football this go-around.
And sometimes, partner, I think it's almost better that you just...
He's got a man, complete! And they're going to be set up now with the ball at the 13-yard line. Quite a show of arm strength right there. That was in the air for a long time, and it was on target, too.
And this offense has really just been humming all game long, so to me, they're just saying, we want to finish this one off in the third quarter so we can coast home in the fourth. And this is just a tremendous play, something we've seen time and again from this offense.
And the final touchdown. A great play there. Already his second touchdown here in this opening weekend. And the Vikings are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Extra point splits the uprights, and the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter.
Saints 14.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. He will return this from deep in the... And all deep in his own territory. He coughs up the football. And the Vikings pick up the football. And they are going to bring this one back. It's a fumble return. A scoop and score for the Vikings. Extra point right down the middle. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter.
52. Saints 14.
So here's the kickoff now as he'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. And not willing to risk another fumble. He'll sit on this one. It's a touchback.
25-yard line.
Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. Well, we're still in the third quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable now. Or win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles. But I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized.
After the incompletion, here now, 3rd and 2. They'll try to pick up the first with Eckler, and he'll be brought down right around the 37. Give him the third down conversion, 5 yards on the play.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. He'll drop to throw. A quick throw knocked away and incomplete.
Receiver coaches preach to their guys all the time. Separation, that's what's going to make the play successful. That time there was very little, and I think they were actually fortunate that it was only knocked away and not intercepted.
Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call. So apparently some grabbing there in the middle of the O-line.
I've often wondered why that doesn't happen more often for guys that play center. Having to snap the ball and then trying to get your hands into the proper position, that's difficult to do. He got caught that time.
That's into the hands of Eckler. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. An extra defender in the secondary for the Vikings here on 3rd down. They'll set up a throw. Looking deep downfield. He's got him in. Complete. Touchdown, New Orleans. A big play there. 66 yards. And the Saints are able to at least get one score back. Point after, right down the middle. So they do get one score back, but still a long way to go here in the third quarter. The ball upright on the tee, and the Saints kick team booms it away. This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Still comfortably on top, third quarter, as they start things here with a 1st and 10. He's going to float this one deep right side. He's got him in, complete. Touchdown, Vikings. A great effort there. With now 3 Week 1 touchdowns. And the Vikings get another third quarter touchdown to add on to that lead. Extra point splits the uprights, and the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter.
Saints 21.
Minnesota's kick team ready, and the Vikings boom it away. Now this will be returned from deep in the end zone. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. Well, this has been a tough one for them, Charles. They've struggled really on both sides of the football. And one thing that's really plagued them, the turnovers. They've had issues keeping the football in their possession.
And every game that's ever been played, all coaches talk about taking care of the football and limiting turnovers. And in this one, after we saw that first turnover, we worried that things would snowball, and it certainly did, especially on the scoreboard.
2nd and 10, third quarter of the season opener. They'll look to throw. Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. And the Vikings are going to take possession of the football.
Well, NFL quarterbacks have learned the hard way. You're not going to get rich throwing against this guy. He's definitely too good. And this is now his 2nd interception of the ball game. And if I'm running the offense, I've got to tell my guys, you've got to go work on the other corner.
Handoff here to Nwangu. And a strong run there as he'll maneuver his way down inside the 15. There's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. On the give is Nwangu. And now they're going to get him down right at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. Defensively, though, they had a chance there to hit him for a loss. Couldn't get it done.
Looked like someone was able to knife into the backfield, but he wasn't able to get him down. But his compatriots, they were able to grab him at the line of scrimmage and not let him get any further downfield.
And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. They lost 4 there, and it's 3rd down.
I thought he did a nice job there setting an edge and make sure nothing could get to the outside. But he decided that wasn't enough for him. Worked his way back inside and made the tackle on the ball carrier.
Off play action. Freeman. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Coverage was awfully tight there on 3rd down. They actually closed off all the passing lanes, forcing the incompletion and bringing up 4th down.
And his kick is indeed good, and that will extend their lead even further. So they got the turnover, started with great field position, but in the end, the defense able to hold firm, and they only get 3 out of it.
And I like what you said right there. That defense able to hold firm, backed up into the shadow of their own end zone. The goalpost right behind them. They had to make sure they didn't give up the 6. And boy, they came through in a big way. To them, even though they gave up 3, that's a win for their side.
Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. Well, it's a game that they would rather probably forget about, at least to this point, Charles. And one reason is turnovers. A turnover on the last drive. They had the issue in the first half as well, and that's really, unfortunately for them, helped to put this game out of reach.
And you know they won't admit it to themselves, but we know that winning the game is pretty much out of the picture now. So their bottom line is, how do they play a clean game the rest of this one, right? Take care of the...
Look at this, middle of the field, a breakaway. Touchdown, New Orleans. Chris Olave, 74 yards. And the Saints are able to eat in just a bit to this sizable deficit. Extra point right down the middle. So they do get 1 score back, but still have a long way to go in the 3rd quarter. The ball upright on the tee, and the Saints kick team booms it away. And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Still well in control of this ball game despite giving up that touchdown a moment ago. He's going to float this one deep right side. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
I like the fact that he took the shot deep downfield. Even if you don't get the catch, maybe you get a defensive penalty and pick up the yardage that way.
Glad to be in the great city of New Orleans, rolling along here in the third quarter, 2nd and 10. He's going to go up top again. Got a man, it's caught inside the 10. Touchdown. Boy, he has been fun to watch throwing the football in this one. It's certainly not fun for that defense, though, Charles. Now up to 4 touchdown passes in this ball game.
Yeah, we're supposed to be neutral, but I'm feeling their pain right now because he has absolutely carved up the secondary. A clinic on how to attack a defense and take them out of the game.
Minnesota's kick team ready, and the Vikings boom it away. Well, from deep in the end zone, he's going to bring this out. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. A strong showing their last time out. They scored the touchdown, but Charles, they looked up and they're still down double digits, so you feel like just to keep pace, this drive probably needs to end in the end zone as well.
Yeah, and I think the best move for them is to not worry about how far they are down on the scoreboard, but to just remember the last drive and how it ended. Go ahead and try and repeat that. Then you can look at the scoreboard and see where this game is.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. On the screen, this is Eckler. And he'll be upended here after a pickup of 3, getting it out to the 25.
Good reactions there defensively. That screen was a little slow in developing, and they shut that one down with little gain.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll be out of bounds right at the 40. 14 yards is the pickup. 1st down, New Orleans. Well, a touchdown here on this drive, it wouldn't really put much of a dent in the score, the deficit right now. But as you mentioned in the past, CD, their coach is probably just hoping to see something execute. The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. The former 3rd overall pick, Quentin Williams, there to bring him down. Coming up now on a 2nd and 15 following that sack. He'll look to throw. He'll get this to his tight end. That's Pat Freiermuth. And he's brought down inside the 20 at the 18-yard line.
At this stage, there's nothing left to do but to keep firing. And if you're a play caller, you may go off your sheet and use some things maybe you hadn't planned to in this game. Maybe that was one of them there that worked.
Inside the red zone here. They'll look to throw. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
Even with such a big lead late, the effort hasn't lapsed one bit. If the offense wants to score some points in this one, they're going to have to earn it. These guys are not giving up anything.
He'll try again with the arm here on 2nd down. And eventually taken down here. Great coverage downfield. Daniil Hunter in there to get him once again. That's 2 sacks for him now here on opening day. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. The Saints on 3rd down. 5 out of 9 thus far. This is 3rd and 17. Now back to throw. And now here is another interception. And the Vikings are going to have it here at their own 32-yard line. Well, partner, I got to tell you, I'm trying to think of something positive to say for this offense, but I'd have to be a spin doctor for that one. This has been a tough performance to watch.
And I think it's hard at this point to actually identify what's really gone wrong. I guess the catch-all is everything. Doesn't sound like real sharp analysis, but I don't have much else for you.
And the scoreboard just lopsided, and it's been ugly from the get-go. Now he'll let it go deep right side. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Partner, in the sportsmanship handbook, there's something to be said for calling the dogs off in a blowout. But these defenders, they also know this is the NFL, and it's their job to stop them, whether they're in the game or they're down by a handful of touchdowns.
Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. And the Saints are going to take over at their own 41. Their passing game has been spectacular this afternoon. Finally, a win for the defense.
You think maybe there was an adjustment there. Finally gained a measure of, I don't even know if you call it revenge, but got a play done against him, and that's been difficult for them all game long. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense.
And whatever promise they showed in the preseason has not translated into week one because they have not been particularly competitive here. At home, no less. These fans just kind of beside themselves right now. Now following the sack, they'll come up here on a 2nd down and 12. The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. Dancing to his left. Now he's going to let it go deep left side. And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here.
That's coverage you'd expect to see in a tie game late. Not in a lopsided game like this. They are not letting up.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. He's going to try and go deep again. This is caught inside the 15. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play. They picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
Running on 1st down, Eckler. And somewhat of a measure of revenge as he's in for the touchdown, but they still trail big time.
He'll take it, but he won't be able to smile about it.
Well, this opening game has certainly not gone their way to this point, but yeah, that touchdown, maybe a glimmer of hope for the long season ahead.
And no one in this league likes to talk about moral victories. No one wants to really just say, okay, well, maybe something went right. But you're exactly right. A little glimmer there, maybe they can carry it over moving forward.
And they've got it. They recovered it. But hang on now, though. There's a penalty flag down. Well, CD, you understand. I mean, they're so eager trying to get back in this game here in the 4th quarter, but they touched that one a little too early before it went 10 yards.
Brandon, in such a high-stakes scenario, everyone's feeling the pressure on this play. The special teams coordinator, which one is he going to pick in terms of kicks? Can the kicker execute it? Can the team wait for 10 yards? So many variables.
And at the 7-yard line, the catch is made. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. Well, CD, I mean, simply put, if anyone around the league wasn't paying attention to them to start the season, they will be heading into week 2. This has been an impressive week 1 performance.
They've certainly announced that they are ready to go, haven't they? They wanted to send a message out to the rest of the league. You better put your eyes on us. We may be someone you have to reckon with.
He will return this from deep in the end zone. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about it. And, my goodness, another interception. And the Vikings are going to take possession of the football.
Yet another mistake after the interception there. Gosh, you look up at the scoreboard. They just got to be thinking this one cannot get over fast enough.
It certainly can't. And also what happens when you get this big of a deficit, you're supposed to make all the right throws, right? You're supposed to try and obviously get the ball to your own guys. But being down this big, you also take even more chances. And in this situation, that hasn't paid off for them at all.
On the other sideline, jubilation and laughter. Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
At this juncture, CD, you normally see teams pack in the passing game. They've got the huge lead. Not them, though. They're still taking their shots.
I remember reading in past history, there was a college football coach in the Hall of Fame whose nickname was Close the Gates of Mercy. But he wasn't really big on that. He was big on go ahead and score.
And he fires one that's intercepted. John Johnson with the INT. And now off to the races down the right side. A great pick, nice return, but you know he's just beating himself up inside for not getting all the way in.
No doubt about it, because he had visions of end zone in his mind. Going to be the total hero. But we did see there the emphasis on it's not just good enough to pick it off anymore. Bring it back, get the yardage, and really help out your offense.
Suddenly it's 1st and goal after the interception. A quick change in the situation here.
Eckler will score. Touchdown, New Orleans. Well, nothing fancy there, Charles. You had 3 tight ends on the field. They were going to run the football. The defense knew it, but the defense couldn't stop them.
And I haven't met an offensive line yet that doesn't get more satisfaction out of running the football into the end zone than pass protecting. They had determination on their side, and they got it done.
And they've got it. They recovered it. Wait, hang on now, though. There's a penalty flag down.
Yeah, we saw that one up here, CD. Offensive team, they touched that before it went 10 yards.
Obviously such a fine line, letting it go the required 10 yards, but also getting to it before the hands team can. Just didn't time it out right, and that results in a flag.
Mon now off of play action.
And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked up by John Johnson.
And the Saints are going to take possession of the football.
Yes, folks, that is his 3rd interception, and I'm going to use one of the most overused phrases in football. He's a ball-hawking safety.
I love the way that you called for the shot there. That's perfect, though, because there is something to that. Being a safety often allows you freedom to roam around the defense, maybe not a specific assignment. Today, his assignment, find the football, and he's done so quite well.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
This has been a rough one, to put it mildly, for him, and after this one's done, you just feel like at the post-game press conference, this team's going to have a lot of questions and definitely not a lot of answers.
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. This is caught. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. A really nice gain of 25 yards. They go play action here on first down. And he will not get away. He's sacked back around the 3-yard line.
Lewis Seed able to drop him for a loss of a couple.
We all know he's one of the better quarterbacks in the league, but definitely not today. His team trailing by multiple touchdowns, and a late sack, just a parting gift from the defense for him to take back to the locker room.
And this is going to be intercepted. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
And the Vikings are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive.
And this has been quite a performance to kick off the new year on the road, no less, as they try to finish things off here in the fourth quarter. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. From all the way up at the 38 now after a good start to the drive. That one looks like he'll throw here. Looking left sideline, it's complete. And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another first down. Partner, I know we're still in the afternoon slate here. Some primetime games still on the docket, but it's going to be tough to top this effort. What an offensive performance we have seen. They have been unstoppable from the moment we began this game, and they're not holding back. They're still throwing the football here in the fourth.
They certainly are, and let me tell you something. If you're old school, you don't...
And give them another 6. It's caught for a touchdown, and the blowout continues. Turning into a really good performance on the road. And now it appears that the referee's been buzzed, and we'll get a review. And this being inside 2 minutes of play, everything coming from up above. So take away the touchdown there, as that's going to be ruled an incomplete pass. To throw again on second down. Mond escaping the pressure right. This will be caught inside the 10. Here's Mond. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. Well, CD, always a little extra excitement for Week 1, and one of our early window games here in Week 1 on a Sunday comes to a close. Good to be back in the booth with you, my friend.
And it's good to be back in the booth with you as well. And we know that not everyone's going to start the season 1-0, right? Half the league is going to have a loss on their record. But everyone's going to have to build off of that opener. And how many coaches tell us every single year, you make your most progress between Week 1 and Week 2. We'll see how both of these teams progress the rest of this season.
So for Minnesota, it's a fantastic start as they roll to a blowout victory here in the season opener. And they'll get another road test next week as they have to go to Lambeau to take on the Packers. Meanwhile, for New Orleans, they obviously fall to 0-1 with the defeat. And they'll be on the road next